Hello. 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 Audio test, audio test. Audio test. Sounds okay to me. How does it sound to you guys? Hope it sounds good. Hope it sounds alright. Hope it sounds clear. My voice is already a little bit strained because I was ranting earlier. Irrelevant, really. What about? But, you know. If you start before the collaboration, you'll get a free 000 ticket since you'll need every pool you can scrape together. Yes. I will be starting... I mean, if I'm perfectly honest, if I finish the game tonight, I may be recording the first impressions tonight. Do I have Limbus installed? I think I do. I do. Installed and updated. So I haven't actually ever launched it. So I'll be making like an account and stuff, but the issue is I don't know whether I have time for three gacha games, like daily log on gacha games. I'm already on 2. Ooh, stretchy. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Wake up. I've been sleeping so terribly the last couple of weeks. Right, I should probably launch the game. Okie dokie. Alright. Psyched up for this. When did I first stream this? How long have we been going? I think it was January. So that's quite a while. It was, in fact, it was January. January of 2024. Oh, God. First episode was called My Limbs. So it only took 44 to finish Lobotomy Corp. Righto. Hello. Any second. Yay, hello. Righto. Hello and welcome back to Garen River vs. Library of Ruina Live, the finale. It has been a very long time coming, but we are here. I will be finishing the game this stream. I don't know if this is the last fight. It could be. I can't think of any unanswered questions, but I also couldn't think of several unanswered questions that I didn't even know were unanswered until they got answered. So, remember, no spoilers in the chat. Just because we're at the end doesn't mean you can spoil stuff. And, yeah. Here we go. I haven't done any rebuilding because I don't know that I'm actually going to need to use any of these buggers. Because it's like pre-made stuff. Oh, it is actually the final reception. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Right. So, in case you missed the previous stream, we have Roland, who is now, open quotes, a good guy again, close quotes, versus Xena from the head, Baral from the claw, and then there is also somebody from the eye who is not in the battle. But yes, these are effectively agents of the leaders of the city. And he's being a dick. I don't know how I'm supposed to handle this. I think I'm supposed to just take this one. Opening with that, there's no way you can stop it. So I think what I should do is take the chance to use a couple of pages on him. Because the mistake I made before is I didn't have Furioso prepared. So I need to try and be ready with that. So I have to take this hit as he takes me through the entire library. Does a fuck ton of damage. And then I can hit him. And although his health and stagger are not visible, like there are no numbers, they are going down. It's something I worked out last time. Exhausted already? We've yet to even expend any real effort. Executioner? I'll finish them. Halt. You've shown up at last. Have we met before? So that's why Angela asked me to hang in there. It was to wake you up, huh? What, you ain't pleased to see me coming to save your ass? I'm not complaining, Mom. Don't worry about it, just pull yourself together and get up. It's too easy to flop down, you know? Alright, thanks for coming. I definitely was not going to make it through this alone. It's a relief to have you. Can't guarantee I'll power through this either. Well, we'll have to try and stop them for as long as we can. Know that joining forces will not change the inevitable outcome of this. Nevertheless, your efforts certainly are a joy to witness. Truly and indeed, while I would not mind to spectate the situation from a distance, we must see to it that this place is dealt with thoroughly, so it would be wise for me to participate. And this just got more troublesome. Okay. So there is a certain amount of countering in this, but I struggled with it. Like 15 to fucking... 15 to... what's that? 15 to 20. I need to try and use new pages I've not used before each round in order to get Furioso as quickly as possible. Nice. Nice. Less nice. Isolated without a way out, your state is nothing short of pitiful. You still managed to hold out for a greater deal of time than we anticipated. 'Tis a shame that it must end this way. Now... Boom! Ah. It is indeed true, the verbosity leaves you vulnerable. Garion. That is a name I've not heard in a long while, although I suppose that name is not for me anymore. Despite having received news of you, I didn't expect you to come out and greet us this late. What took you so long? I was simply watching you from afar for a moment. Really now, until we got all battered up? Like a sausage? Like a delicious battered sausage? Look after yourselves before you blame me. This strife will have to resume soon enough. Not only did you fail to responsibly perform your duty, you have fallen asleep here and turned your back on us. How imprudent of you. However, I suppose we can call you to account later. We will tear down your grave and extract you before long. I can only pity you in your vain endeavour to seek an entity whose husk is all that remains. They're just smug off, that's all it is. Executioner, be prepared. It will take place any minute now. I don't think I still know what... I still don't think I know what it is. The it she just referred to. 18. To 27. Can I use that? Can I beat that? No. No, I cannot. Oh yeah. Pillar's a better one actually. Seal one of his, he's the bigger threat, I think. Yikes. Sort of feel like I'm getting my ass handed to me here. Damn! I did that wrong. I thought she was going to benefit from that. Roland's on the verge of death, and there's really not much I can do about it. I don't have Furioso again. Fuck. I've got to intercept that. That's my only chance. Oh, this isn't my deck, because my deck didn't have Upstanding Slash in it. Interesting. Don't die, Roland. Nice. Don't die, Roland. He's on 8 health. Nice work. Very good work there. Now I just need Roland to not die, but he's on the verge of bloody death. God damn. Such a bastard counter to this one particular page. I think Roland's going to die, in which case I'm going to have to restart. Yeah, I can't. I can't win. Yeah, Roland's dead. Alright, I'm gonna keep going, just in case. But I don't think I got this. Yeah. I literally cannot roll high enough to beat it. It's specifically designed 27 as the minimum, so that Onrush can't beat it unless you have strength. Not got anything I'm forgetting. All dice on the page gain power against targets with slower speed. I didn't know that. Is that always the case, or is it just in this fight? Because I don't recognize that. I'm gonna have to tank the hit because I can't beat it. Steal 2 of his dice, would you? Get him off my fucking ass for a bit. Do that just to get the strength next one. Oh, bugger. Nope, she's staggered. Fuck! That was cool, though. The one downside with Gabora is it takes so goddamn long. Oh wow, the field is just different now. It takes so goddamn long to transform. It's so late in the game. What the? What's up with this tremor? Looks like they're going to press ahead with the plan. So they are actually literally just lifting. Sorry, I said my voice is going. Hang on. So they are actually like physically moving the library. Garion, as much as it's a shame that we failed to retrieve your once crumbled body, the end is nigh. This place will be expelled as planned. Prepare to be sent to the outskirts, a truly great distance from the city. Beget not fear. You are simply being relocated to where you belong. I only ask that you do not return. The city cannot leave room for beings such as you. For now, we shall kindly move you to the outskirts, but should you return to the city, we would consider it such that you have chosen to disregard our kindness. So mark my words well, and stay where you rightfully belong. You know what this is telling me? They don't think they can beat the library. Considering they have, like, with stuff like the claw, They are very much the moment something steps over the line, you crush it into oblivion. And yet, here they're saying, no, you're exiled, don't come back, because if you come back, oh, then we'll get you. That's them saying, we don't know we can win this fight. So we're going to get rid of you, and then threaten you, and hope that you believe us. That's interesting, it's quite telling. Ugh. Hang on a sec. I wasn't that far off that in my first attempt. Did I almost win in the first one? Don't answer that. I don't want to know. Hang on, I'm just turning my lights on. Sorting out my blanket because it's all lopsided and stuff. Oh. I don't know, if they really wanted to get rid of the library, they would bring more claws. They don't want to potentially give us... Oh. An Arbiter book. Hello, Everett the Nugget. Make sure you don't give any spoilers. Like, I'm theorizing, but, you know, don't sort of tell me if I'm right. If you know that I'm right or wrong. They would have brought more Arbiters. Oh, sorry, they would have brought more claws. The thing is, I don't think they understand... I don't think they know for certain the limits of the library. Like, considering it's... yeah, irrelevant. Don't tell me stuff. I've been at the end of the game for the last, like, 5 streams. No spoilers. None. Do not take that challenge. Anyway. So, yeah, I don't think they know the extent of what the library is capable of. So, they could have sent, like, an army of claws. But if they don't know that they can win, they wouldn't do it. Or if they wouldn't know the outcome, they wouldn't do it. Like, the way they operate is very much an overwhelming force thing, because they know overwhelming force wins in, like, 9 out of 10 or 99 out of 100 situations. But, like, considering this is effectively the source of the pianist, what is probably... and I don't know for certain, but it's probably the most damaging, destructive thing to ever happen in the city was the appearance of the pianist. So, considering that, and like, it was defeated, but that was one monster. And considering this place is known to have many more, they would not know with any certainty that sending an army in there would not just result in, boom, wiped out army. You know, you do not commit your forces to an unknown situation like that when you can defeat them in other ways. So, like with the other Alephs that could be in there, literal apocalyptic forces, they're not going to take the risk. And, like, I remember talking about this at the end of Lobco, because I got the ending where, like, all the monsters were released, and I'm sure that someone, like, one of the devs said, oh yeah, the head could clear that up in a day. And I hated that answer. So I don't believe it, and I don't think that... I reckon if Angela had released all the monsters, it wouldn't have just been a case of the head could easily fix it. I think it would have been a case of, at the very least, massive portions of the city would be destroyed. And it's, yeah. So that's why I reckon that they're taking this plan. The expulsion will begin in 10, 9, 8. Oh, I didn't think they'd actually succeed in expelling us. The outskirts look more barren than I had imagined. I guess that's how it is here. Now, what to do? God, he's really tall. He's like 90% legs. I plan to live on, and I plan to change. Change what? Well, my vengeance hasn't ceased entirely. I'm still eager to see it through. I'll continue to write books and reopen the library at some point. It likely won't resume immediately, though. Really? Oh, she's so pretty. Before anything else, I've decided to change course. From now on, I'll properly face who I should direct my anger at. Tragedy and suffering, not unlike what we went through, would keep happening on a daily basis in the city. Thus, if that's the case, I want to know why such pain is perpetuated. I don't think I'll ever be able to part with my resentment and wrath otherwise. Oh yeah, like the whole treadwheel thing you mentioned. A word of advice as former city folk, it won't be an easy road to take. You'd have no idea where to even start. If you ask me, it's as natural as water flowing. In a city full of humans, tragedy, violence and loss follow as a matter of course. I'm still going to give it a shot, even though the journey will be quite long. Perhaps this is one of the ways I can repent for what I've done. Of course, the library will be run in a different way from how it was up to now. That is this, and this is that. That is this, and this is that, huh? What about your list, then? Since the circumstances have changed, I'll have to rethink my wishes. Sadly, I won't be able to taste that sick meat stew with this body. That's a huge shame. Putting that aside, isn't it time you let me in on your secret now? What do you mean? Sweating profusely. The biggest surprise you've had here. Oh, that, you somehow remembered it. I can remember anything, you know. This one's really personal. We have all the time in the world. I can wait years for your answer. Alright, fine. I actually wanted to write a book about what I'd seen of the city and its people. So I gave up because I had no talent in writing whatsoever. And the vibe I've got from like the most of the early people who enter the library and like, whoa, are these all books? Are that books are really not a thing anyone gives a shit about in the library? Sorry, in the city. And that the mere concept of a library is itself weird and spectacular. Though I gave up because I had no talent in writing whatsoever. My writing was just too crude, I couldn't show it to anyone. I'd love to give it a read. Laugh at me if you want. A grown man like me wanted to write books. I'd laugh at myself too. But then again, I am an asshole. It's not laughable at all, though I do find it surprising. Recording the city and the lives of its people, huh? Don't tell the other librarians. This stays between you and me, alright? Keep it zipped. Oh. Alright. Shall we write a book together this time, Roland? It would be my honor, Miss Director. Wrong. Try again. You should know by now that's not the right way to address me, don't you? Sounds good to me. Angela. Friend! Friend, Roland! Angela and Roland chose to forgive each other. That's this and this is this and that is that. It's got an achievement. Huh. Well. Okay. Oh, right. I noticed that there was missing one. I still don't know why she's got purple hair. Hammer and nail, leer and guilt. When she drives the nail with her hammer, the crack in the mind will grow too wide and shatter completely. The girl remains silent. She would simply glare at the core of one's inner side with her deep eyes. However, when she met a person crying guilt or fear, the girl revealed the hammer and nail she had been hiding behind her back. Upon a successful pierce, inflict one nail to the target. If a character with nails is hit by a blunt, they take... Oh, that's a very clever concept. Deal and take twice as much physical damage. Bloody hell. Reduce incoming stagger damage by 1 to 3. When hit, the attacker takes stagger equal to the physical damage this character received. Oh my god, that is awful. Oh. Okay, very powerful. Ha! And that's the new screen. Well, I thought that would take a lot longer. I feel like I messed up that fight. Like, I guess it was a supposed to lose fight, in a way. Like, you couldn't beat... Can you beat them? I imagine that's why they don't have health numbers. But I feel I got... No, it's a time-based thing. It's virtually no way to win. Right, sorry, I wasn't reading the chat because I was reading the text. I personally think they wanted to move the library since Luda came along with... They just wanted to move the library since Luda came along with Barrel and Zena, I assume, to do, so you need to be inside. They really just kicked the entire library out of the city. No idea how. Like, did they use teleportation tech or something? Honestly, with how bad the city is, I struggle to see exile as a punishment. It's more of a prize. I think the reason it's a punishment is because, for as hostile as the city is, the outskirts are said to be crawling with monsters. So it's like almost a death sentence. But, you know, someone else can deal the death sentence kind of thing. They escaped the hellhole that is the city. In the back streets, the nests probably have some... How are you feeling? You actually can win the final reception. How am I feeling? Well... Okay, let's have a little talk before I go and check out the credenza. So, I have been increasingly unsure about this ending. Ever since the twist of Roland betraying Angela, just my opinion of this ending dropped massively. Because I hated that. Because it was the first and perhaps only person she's ever trusted, and he betrayed her, and it's like, this is exactly what fucking Ayn did to her. It's like her father betrayed her, and then her only friend betrays her. And I talked a lot last time, I think it was, about the reason it annoyed me so much was because he blamed her for not taking a different path without trying to convince her to take a different path. You know, people can't learn in a vacuum. They have to have something to push them in one direction or another, or they're just going to keep flying in the direction they were going. And I chose Angela to forgive him for two reasons. One, because it was obviously the path to the best ending, and the other one because Angela did have to be the one to break the cycle. because Roland wasn't going to. He was unable to break the cycle. He couldn't see a way out of the cycle. And Angela showed him actually there is. And it's really, in a way, because Roland grew up in the city and Angela didn't. The city is the true villain of this game. Like, it's not the head, it's not Argyle, it's not it's not Roland, it's the city. And that's probably why you have stuff like the will of the city and this giant sewing machine underground that uses vibrations to change the city's latent malice into people doing horrible things to each other, which seems to come out of virtually nowhere this doesn't feel like it fits. But that is a very heavy-handed way to say the city is the problem. And in a way, that's why leaving the city is, as Nathan said in chat, is almost that's part of the good ending, because you're outside of the city. You're not within it. You're not surrounded by it, bound by it. But yeah, the city is the villain because it's the system and the ongoing hell of all this stuff. And like, if you've ever struggled with something like depression or anxiety or any of these things, it's really, really hard to ever overcome it while you're still in it. You have to distance yourself enough that you can look at it and evaluate it and understand it better, and then you can try and do something about it. But if you're still engulfed by it, and I can't speak for everybody, obviously, each person has their own experiences, but if you're engulfed by it, I don't think it is. It is at the very least much, much harder to pull yourself out of that hole if you're still waist deep in the mud. But if you can pull yourself out of the hole, or at least pull yourself to the firmer ground at the edge of the hole long enough to be like, right, now I can actually look at this hole, then you can work out how to climb out of it. And that's why, like, Roland defaulted to vengeance because he was raised in the city. So using the analogy, he has lived his entire life neck deep in mud. So his only recourse in any given situation is to stay in the mud. But Angela, she was created to be an almost perfect being beyond the hole entirely. And it was only because of Ayn that she fell into the hole. And it was because of Ayn and Carmen collectively that she was pushed deeper into the hole. And then after Ayn finally fucked off, and it was just her, by that point she was in the hole. And she didn't know how to pull herself out because she wasn't designed to be in the hole. She wasn't supported and prepared for it in any way. But she was just in there with everybody else. And that's why she chose anger and violence. And that's why Carmen was such this unifying figure, because she said to everybody, I can show you how to get out of this hole. There is a way. I have found a way out of this hole. And in doing so, she had to climb over other people and push other people further into the hole, and she just couldn't take that. Because she wasn't climbing out of the hole as quickly as she wanted, and she was causing other people, including innocent children, to fall deeper. And that was too much for Carmen, and she couldn't take it. Which caused Ayn to essentially throw himself into the hole after Carmen and drag Angela down with him when he tried to build her originally beyond it. Because I do think he did think it would be a good thing. That he built Angela to look like Carmen deliberately. He wanted to try and recapture that hope, that love, And when the moment he did it, he was like, no, I failed. So, fuck it, into the hole with Angela. So, the whole of this, the whole as in with a W at the start, of this game and this world is in this hole. And that's why when Roland chose violence against Angela, Angela had to be the one to choose another path. Not just because she's like the protagonist, but because she's in the perfect position to make that decision. Because she is from beyond the hole. She knows what life is like outside it. Even briefly, she knows it. And that's what let her be better. And I'm not saying that everybody in the hole is the same. You know, there are some who deviate from what other people think is the right, in inverted commas, way of being in the city. Like Zhao with her love for Lowell. Lulu with her love for her friend. Hell, even Roland and his love for Angelica is an example of someone not doing what people expect. But yes, circling back to how I feel about all this, I was really, really down on this ending. And I, like, for the last 2 or 3 streams, I've been dreading the ending of this. Because it's like, I cannot imagine how they're going to make me like this. It made me very upset. It made me very angry at Roland. To me, it did sort of ruin the character of Roland. And although Angela, and I've been saying this for a while, although Angela was clearly in the wrong through a lot of what she's done here, I still preferred her to Roland even before the betrayal. So after the betrayal, it's like, yeah, that sucked. And that may have ruined my attitude to the game. And then we had this cutscene at the end, where they're outside the city, they're looking in, and they're talking about what they're going to do next. And Angela said the one thing that would make me like this ending. I want to fix the city. And she didn't use those words, but look at it like this. She is immortal again. She is indestructible again. She has the library, which is probably the single most powerful entity to have ever existed, because it's a thing that can create virtually anything, can manipulate time on a whim, and the whim is hers. An immortal, timeless being. That is phenomenally powerful, and she looked at the city, recognized that the city was the problem, and decided that she, as an immortal being, would fucking fix it. She is going to do something about it. And that is the perfect ending for her. Because I love the concept of immortal characters. I think they can be really, really fascinating when they're done right. I think a lot of the time they're not done right. And whenever I write an immortal character, they tend to be either hedonistic or apathetic. So they either don't see the point of doing anything, or they just don't see the point of doing anything other than what brings them immediate joy. Because, you know, if they have forever, why plan ahead? So to have an immortal character decide, no, I am going to dedicate myself to stopping this wheel that is crushing people. And it's going to take a long time, and it's going to be the hardest thing anyone has ever done, but she's going to do it. That is an incredibly good point that I did not think of, Nathan. In a way, Angela is taking up Carmen's original goal, but other than Carmen, she actually has the resources, time, power, and now mental health needed to see it through. That is a fantastic point that I did not think of. But yes, that is exactly it. And yeah. No, I can't say it better than that. That is spot on. Angela will be the therapist this city needs. Because, like, with the head, I reckon the head is afraid of her. As I went through before, you know, they got rid of her rather than deal with her. Because they don't know what she can do. And they have tried to get rid of her in some way. They've seen the most powerful organizations effectively in the world go in there and fail. And yeah, they could send an army, but they don't know that they'd win. So they are content to just let her fuck off to the other side of the world, effectively. As you know, outside the city may as well be on the other side of the world. And ignore them. And I reckon that will be the city's downfall. In a good way. Because the head enables all of this. The head likes this. In it's controlled chaos kind of way. But controlled chaos, when you're on the ground level, is just chaos. And that is no surprise everyone has this out for themselves nihilistic mentality. But this game has successfully distanced itself from the depression of nihilism for me. Because although it is nihilistic, it's sorry, one moment. Although it is nihilistic, it makes sense in a way. And like I have quite a logical, analytical mindset. Like whenever I've watched like Attack on Titan, specifically the earlier parts where they're like trying to venture outside of the walls, and it's like, why are they doing it the way they're doing it? The way they're doing it is insane and illogical and wouldn't work. So seeing Angela from the outside going, I'm going to fix this, she can actually do it in a way that would work. It's kind of hopeful that no matter how long it takes, the problem will most likely be solved. I agree. Yeah, I agree, Mr. Taz. So, presumably the other librarians are also immortal. Presumably, while Roland is in or based at the library, he's also functionally immortal. Because anything inside the library is at Angela's whim. You know, they can manipulate time. That has been shown. They have perceived things through dimensions, through realities, through time jumps. They can literally revive people. They can redo fights as many times as they want because of the power of the library and of Angela. So yeah, I reckon, or rather I hope, that Roland is always going to feel guilty about betraying Angela. Because Angela will always feel guilty about what she's done. And if he's going to stick around, he should share in that. But overall, I think they are going to try and do some good. Hello! Heiter and Thomas and friends just subscribed. Thank you! I think that's on YouTube, yeah. The library has never lost a fight. Exactly. Because of time manipulation. No such thing as losing a fight when you can redo it. When you can redo it and you're immortal. And you can revive people. There is no losing. You cannot beat the library. Not when Angela is the head librarian. Like, if she'd gone fully human and left, the library would have been defeated. But as she is, they literally cannot be defeated. Like, empirically, they cannot be defeated. And I sort of reckon maybe she could have stopped the library being moved. But chose not to, maybe. But something I still don't get is Carmen. I do not understand Carmen. I don't understand her role, her literal role in this. Like, I understand like Angela's interactions with Carmen, and I still think that the line from String Theocracy, which you are you going to be? Look in the mirror, do you see someone else in that body? Like, that encapsulates Angela's anxieties in a way. But I still don't really understand Carmen and her motivations in this. And I feel like I missed something, and I'm probably at some point going to replay the game to see all the bits I missed. I'm almost certainly going to replay it because, by the way, I'm just going to mention this now while I remember. I'm going to do a tier list of Library of Ruina characters, because some characters, like, there are so many characters in this, and some of them are fantastic. So I will do a tier list at some point, probably soon, while it's still fresh, going through, and I will probably have to, like, replay the game to remind myself of who all the characters are, but I'll probably, like, do it with cheats on or whatever, just to get through it a bit quicker, because this has taken me 210 hours, which is a long time. But yeah, this might sound a bit weird, but Carmen is a very Gaster-like character to me. I get what you mean, but the thing I don't get is that she's directly contributed to the bad things that have happened, seemingly thinking it's good. Like, I think she is very much a fractured character. Like, as she exists now, this is, post what she did to herself. And I think that sort of has broken her in a way, but it's very odd. This game has odd ways of explaining things sometimes. I mean, all the gameplay, basically. It's largely a work it out yourself kind of thing, but some of the dialogue, like, basically all the times the patron librarians were giving Angela advice, I talked about how terrible the advice was, and I can't tell if it's because of mistranslations, if it's deliberately bad advice, or if it's translated correctly, but I think it's bad advice and they don't. It's I don't know. So anyway, that is Library of Ruina. So let's see what we have. This is returned to the one I designed, and I was right that the new Gabora thing was new. Are you still buffed? No! Why are you still weakened? Oh, that sucks. Probably a mod for that. That's upsetting. I really thought she'd be buffed. Considering I've got, like, this stuff, you'd think I would have kept this. Check the people who beat the members of the ensemble. I don't even know who that was. Hockma. Twinkly Hockma. Everyone's twinkly here. Welcome to the floor of religion. We all twinkle here. Ooh, pitch black pulverizer. Defeat distorted Tanya. Oh, that's cool. Everyone's a bit beaten up. Ooh, climax. Defeat distorted Oswald. Defeat distorted Jae-Hwan. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, you don't look any different now, do you? The Queen's loyal servant. Oh, that looks cool. I can't remember who beat what, you see. So I'm just having a quick look through them all. But yes, I specifically wanted to beat this game before the Arknights collaboration. Which is why I've streamed it like 5 times over the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it really sucks that Binna stays degraded. I feel she's earned... Well, you can't even see that because it's covered by his hair. I feel she's really earned to not be degraded, but guess it's something we're going to have to rely on mods for. I assume there are mods that add the undegraded version. Yeah, I know you weren't in the fire, were you? Tiff? Are they all in the ear section? Yes, gear clad. Oh, that's really cool. Look at how amazing Buff Mika looks now. Haha. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, they don't show up on her, do they? You can give her them, but they don't show up. Final melody. Oh, that's really fitting because he does have, you know, he's built like Argyle. Oh wow. Yeah, they are pretty cool. I will admit that. What do you think of the new title screen? It's good. I like it. It's very good. Right. So I said I would do some credenza, or the last of the credenza. Let me just pull up the thing. I mildly dislike the lack of a New Game Plus. I feel like, I don't know, like New Game Plus are always like they're generally in games that scale, I think. I don't know, maybe they're not. Sorry, I'm just... anyway, sorry. Where was I up to? Right, so I've not read any Impuritas. I read all of these. So actually we didn't get confirmation about a theory I had. about the Purple Tear. I was sure that she was Roland's mother. But it seems that they're not related, that she's just like a mentor figure for him. Hey, Skier. Right. Let's quickly read through Hannah Association. And my voice may crack, and I apologise. I may end up having to take breaks to breathe and drink Pepsi. Each association has a creed or maxim that reflects this atmosphere. Some emphasize gallant passion, while others aspire to be quiet and cold. The Hannah Association is no exception in that it has a number of outwardly seen principles. Coincidentally, they represent the most basic ideas of the attitude a fixer must have. You must exercise concentration and resoluteness in all situations. Be diligent to detect the emergence of a new flow, yet be wary not to be swept by the flow yourself. As our occupation involves placing some on low positions and holding others in high regard, we must secure the values that constitute our frame, while amending outdated parts of our ideologies. Thus, we need to have an open mind that can accept opinions that differ from our own in moderation. Be willing to listen to the criticism of others and acknowledge it. But be cautious not to throw yourself into confusion by accepting any and all opinions, changing yourself without due consideration. Change what needs to be changed, but be stubborn about the rules we've maintained. In conclusion, we mustn't fall for temptation or deception. Much like how the Foundation influences the structures that stand upon it, these principles serve as the basis for all associations to uphold. Being the association that supervises the system of fixers in general, the principles of the Hannah are also applicable to the mindset of any fixer. There are 12 fixer associations across the city, and the Hannah Association is the one... Seriously, there are only 12? Did I fight them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Oh, they're just offices, they're not fixers. Oh, is it specifically associations? So a fixer office is different to a fixer association. Whatever. Anyway. The Hannah Association is the one in charge of general management of the rest. We're renowned for rating the threat level of hazards that occur in the city, and grading fixers and officers. On top of that, we give out fixer licenses, issue official documents about certain requests, and assign colours to fixers who prove themselves to be beyond the grading system. Our association calls the shots on pretty much everything regarding fixer activity, although there's one thing the Hannah Association can't touch on. The rating of hazards are as follows: urban myth, urban legend, urban plague, urban nightmare, urban star of the city, and urban impurity. Most other associations only deal with stars of the city and lower. Even though Hannah Association has control over grading the hazards, there's one grade our association can't assign: the impurity. Only the head has the authority to decide that, and I don't know the exact rationale behind designating impurities. From what I can see, they seem to declare things that defile the city as impurities and banish them to the outskirts. I suppose the head manages that part, since things like ethics of the city aren't subjects we are qualified to discern. That tells me that anything considered an impurity is something the head's like, we probably can't beat that, let's just get rid of it. Some people ask how stars of the city, the highest level of urban hazards, are any different from impurities. They wonder, aren't they disrupting the city's order? If you ask me, the city, as it exists with the stars, Might be what the head thinks is the ideal image. I mean, that's why they call them stars, you know, shining things that look down on everything else. It's not exactly like this is a terrible threat. In the universe that is the city, a centre of mass forms for each person who bears a wish for something, and clusters of dreams comparable to interstellar matter gravitate towards those centres. Driven by the force people exerted their efforts to reach those goals, such nebulae repeatedly expand and contract, until they finally fulfill their wishes, creating a star whose glow they can observe. The people who witness the sparkle of a star admire how brilliantly it shines in the dark, and entertain the hope that they will shine as brightly one day, making yet more centres of the universe. Of course, some people will have their eyes fixed to the ground, too busy to gaze at anything other than the path ahead. However, once a person sets their eyes on a star, they begin to head towards it, using its guidance like a compass. Although they probably aren't trying to become a star themselves, they merely want to shine with their dreams for once, not to indulge in the sense of superiority that comes from being high in the city sky. Throat's hurting already. Roland and I were long-time partners in Charles's office since the year dot. There were 12 members in total, excluding Angelica, who joined the office later on to resolve the case of the Blood Red Knight. Consisting of rather few fixers for a Grade 1 office, it took on various requests playing to the strengths of the 12 members. Sorry. Yeah. Playing to the strengths of the 12 members who had different quirks and characteristics each. Roland and I got along well together, so I often worked with him. Well, not exactly for that reason. To be precise, someone had to keep his impulse to jump into action before thinking on a dog's leash. Valor without forethought is little more than a bluff, and there is more strength in discretion than recklessness. I wonder if you remember this piece of advice I gave when you were still prone to take action without thinking. I remember you conceding it and taking a step back. Although I gave you that advice, now I understand that it's not without fault. Thinking alone doesn't make progress, and too much caution can be a harm to oneself. I had the prudence, and you had the unhesitating action. We helped each other with our strengths, and we could live on by dealing with matters at hand back in the day. Maybe those were the days when we could laugh and lament the most, carry out our lives just like that. But now we've come too far to go back. So did you, and so did Charles's office. I don't know how I feel about Roland killing Olivier. Like, in a way, it was foreshadowing for his betrayal of Angela. It's like, oh, here's one of your oldest friends. Fuck him. The Knight of Despair joins your team. Yay! Okay. Let's start with Philip. How long must I walk until I reach an end? How tightly must I shut my eyes, cover my ears and zip my mouth to keep what's around me safe before I can feel a semblance of happiness that won't leave me? I thought I had to overcome this pain and rise above it to become a tougher man. That way I wouldn't lose those that are close to me. However, a human is fragile by nature. If one is too weak, they would crumble, and if one is too hardy, they would snap. I realize that there's little I can do to calm the disorder of this world. How can I live on without falling to despair then? I think this is the perfect voice for him. I hate this voice, but it's so fitting for Philip. A mind that is willing to let go of things that were destined to leave at some point. A mind that is content to have nothing. I feel that it's important to refrain from thinking that anything is in my possession. I followed your troop in order to find a way to be happy, but what good did it do for me? Staying with you only exacerbated my suffering, defeating the whole purpose of joining in the first place. I do want to add that you were not at fault here, though. I was the one who tormented myself. Yeah, I don't blame you, I'd torment you too. Had I known what I know now back in the past, would that have lessened the pain or changed anything? No, I don't blame myself for the choice in that moment. Even the failures and misery of the past were all part of the voyage leading up to this moment when I'm still fucking depressed. So I'm thankful I managed to achieve something. What? You've achieved nothing. I might have drowned in my own tears and sorrow back then, but ultimately, I'm grateful for the choice I made and all the things in the world. God, he's an annoying arsehole, isn't he? Where we live, there is nothing that can be achieved with your own will. A flow that cannot go against dictates us. What we call gears are simply there to show the flow. You can't see it with your own eyes. Nobody knows who created this massive current or why we must follow it. This flow never leads us to bad places, however. Rather, thinking that such a place exists is an act of defiance in itself. We merely watch events unfold as bystanders. You walk along a path, but was it you who laid the path there? You didn't teach yourself to lift your legs and propel you forward. They simply moved. Furthermore, the decision to walk wasn't our own either. Still too many believe they moved their legs of their own volition. It's a shame to see them struggle to escape the flow, for they're only straying away from salvation. That told me nothing! It's an era where humans are dominated by the act of consumption. When you're hungry and you get annoyed, and when starvation touches your raw nerve you turn violent. That's how humans are, said the shark. And people who eat the same food will naturally grow similar. So the high and mighty beings that want to rule over you demand you to eat the correct stuff. When something's correct, there's got to be something that's incorrect. Incorrect food. It's got to mean humans eating humans, don't you think? I mean, that's a bit of a jump. It's like when I go to the doctor and he's like, you need to make sure you eat your 5 a day. And it's like 5 a day, what do you mean by that? And fruit and vegetables. So if anything that's not 5 a day is human meat, right? What? Yeah. You're saying I've got to eat my 5 a day and the rest of my diet is human meat. Where did you get that from? Anything I just said? No. It's right. I understand you. Got it. Always fun visiting the doctor. They tell you stuff you wouldn't expect. Why do people think that eating is natural and then draw the line at eating their fellow man? Because of disease. Who decided it's so and why? Is it because human life is precious? No, it's the disease. That's a flawed statement, but what makes the lives of animals less precious? No disease, or less disease, depending on what you eat. But, don't get disease from the things you eat, guys. PSA. That is a flawed statement. What makes the lives of animals less precious? We're not about to go down a boring philosophical riddle about the weight of life. No, it's the disease. If humans clearly have more valuable over animals because we're the apex predators, then there shouldn't be any problem with a pack of humans that rise above the rest and prey on others. We've got 2 options. First, don't eat anything. Hey, I'm not suggesting that we'll starve. Your body is taught to eat. So what if you change that habit? Maybe instead of food, your empty innards could be filled with possibilities. If you aren't a fan of that, then there's a second option. Eat anything. Just trace the smell of blood and stuff what you find in your mouth as your brain tells you to. You're insane. Like that, there is no logic there. It's like, what, am I supposed to never eat anything again? It's like, no, there are options between starving to death and cannibalizing anybody who gets in your way. They're fairly opposite ends of the spectrum. Wow, I'm honestly surprised there are any thoughts here. I thought he was actually beyond. I suppose this was before he distorted. But when he distorted, he lost any semblance of sentience, I think. Let's go on an adventure. A world that changes with every step. The me that changes after every step I take. My eyes dazzled by colourful light, I pursue pleasures that I don't have. Don't scold us because you can't understand our pursuit. You just happen to be one of the many who feel joy from common things. We, on the other hand, don't see any colours in those. You're the ones drenched in nasty pleasures. We're simply looking for what we lack. But complete satisfaction will never come. It'll only sink deeper in the raging thirst. We will spend our days in yet grander debauchery. We're happy, though. We can wet ourselves in new colours every day, unlike the rest of you. Well. Okay. People have hopes and dreams. I want to eat 3 blossoms of flowers. I want to be a swifty, nifty, thrifty kitty. I want to earn a fortune. And then they add, maybe I'll find delicious flowers someday. Maybe I'll get fat stacks of cash in my paws someday. Maybe I'll be showered in the loudest applause someday. Someday, someday, someday. That dastardly someday just won't stop popping up. But we have a hope. We've got to prepare incense to offer those wishful prayers upon. A world where one can't eat flowers. A reminder that you're a sluggish turtle right now. The beggarly reality. Setting the stage for the performance we call hope. Thus and therefore, people have the wrong idea about how to have hopes. If they believe the hopes will come true someday, they'll just keep parroting that contemptible word. The day will never actually come. Having expectations this way will only leave you with bitter anger. I'll change someday. That person will turn over a new leaf someday if I count on them and wait. Nyach! People entertain the hopes as they please and then bite at each other when the change they expected doesn't happen. Clowns can't give out smiles in a world full of mean, teary friends. So we should do all the stretches starting today. Abandon all expectation, just keep a merry, positive attitude and laugh no matter what you see. Let's make a performance about what's already come true, not of a supposed reality you hope for someday. I'm already on the stage, standing in the brightest spotlight ever. Yeah, alright, that one explained pretty much what he's about. Fighting for survival is a natural thing. Even now we're all in battle. There are more people born than folks dying of natural causes, and the living struggle in their own positions every day. I fight to protect and to avoid falling behind. Maybe it's all because there just ain't enough seats for the ever-growing population of humans to take. Sure, extra jobs and stuff might be made in the future, but that's nothing more than a hopeful estimate that might not happen until it's too late for you. The world we live in right now is what matters. There's got to be a way to weed out the unfit without straining all of us, and that's when strength plays its part. I don't get why you vilify this. Aren't we all doing the same thing, directly or not? We elbow our way past others so we can survive, and the losers are knocked out of the race. You say this is fair, but say no to physical conflicts, to respect life or whatevs? Then let me ask this. What's the reason to respect life? Do you think you're respecting life right now? I mean, she was always quite a blunt, one-dimensional character. Had I been busy with an urgent appointment as any other tragic tale should go, your death wouldn't have felt so miserable. Yeah, I would have cried until my tears had run their course, and I would have been ready to send you off. It was an ordinary day. The sort of day where there were no meetings or gatherings to attend to after I came home from work. Your body was crushed beyond recognition. I couldn't have noticed on my own that it wasn't a random chunk of flesh. They put parts of your remains in a stasis box and sent it to me. That was their gesture of condolence. I'd refuse to believe it was you, if it weren't for the clothes. I spent hours sitting there in numb silence, vacantly staring at a lump I couldn't even dare to hug. The stuffed doll you were carrying now next to the box caught my eye. Even though it was shredded and soaked in blood, the cotton filling was still clustering together. As if it remembered the volume of the doll. It seemed some cotton remained even after the roller crumpled all over the fabric. Then, for reasons unknown, I brought the dolls out of your room and cut them up with a pair of scissors. I don't know what possessed me to cut them into pieces of fabric. There wasn't even enough to fully cover the doll, so I scraped together the pieces of clothing to sew it back up, with the same gentle hands that made your doll the first time. The outcome was creepier than what it used to be, but it was the same doll I remembered nonetheless. The appearance didn't matter. Maybe, just maybe, the same could be said for you. I gazed at the box where you, my son, rested for what would be no longer than an eternity. Rested for what would no longer be an eternity. My two hands were once so busy that it was a bother. They had paused for the time, but now they're about to move again, just for you. I mean, that is pretty much just the, purple guy, I will put you back together. And blood fiends, beings said to have been punished with never-ending thirst for the sin of lusting after human blood. That's what your kind called us, condemning us out of fear. I was afraid as well when I faced them for the first time in that mansion where everything began. Violent beings that drank the blood of fellow humans. A growing feeling of unease about the possibility of being their next target. The people in the mansion were terrified of those who became monsters. Even though they were humans like us, they were outside of what we thought as the norm. In hindsight, though, it was such a silly thing to do. What is the illusion of normalcy that we feared for and fought for so strongly? Let's say that every human on the planet except for one turned into blood fiends, and that single person remaining is left normal, as they say. In that case, what would normalcy be like there? How must the lone human feel being the monster among the creatures they dreaded? Should they fight to their last breath for the humanity they kept for so long? Perhaps that's become an obsolete ideology, one that's no longer worth keeping. What if rejecting the old ideal and becoming a blood fiend opened up our potential for growth in numerous aspects? Your kind likes to claim that something is out of the ordinary when it's only different from what you've seen and experienced before. So you fear it and try to exclude it from your herd. But you see, there's no real justification for your kind to condemn us. Well, that answers a question I had. I was really unsure, whether she was born a blood fiend or became one, and that seems quite conclusive. She became one, because she was afraid the first time she went and to face a blood fiend and became one. Yeah, the puppeteer is the one who has, the most... almost the most understandable motive. Philip is just why does everything suck? Eileen seems to be driven by, ideology, religious ideology. Greta just wants to fucking eat everything. Bremen was essentially driven mad to experience as much in the way of, colour as he could. Oswald is a clown. Tanya is all about strength. He wants to bring his son back. She's racism is bad, actually. The world is one massive aggregation of delusions. A world where individuals can shape their own reality as they see fit. Every person is susceptible to deception, for they have knowledge. For that reason, it is impossible for a pure being untainted by knowledge to see the world as we mistakenly observe it. In the same way, they cannot discern the endpoint of a line or tell between blue and red. A world devoid of wants. It would be unfit to call that place a world. In fact, to even call it a place would be yet another misconception amongst us knowing ones. The more one learns, the more delusions they invite. However, if most people observed the same place and felt the same sentiments, then it might not be your own delusion after all. Wouldn't you say so? For instance, take a look at the blue sky. The celestial dome is higher and farther than one can fathom, and as blue as it can be. Most will agree the sky is tall and blue. Alas, those who think as such are ultimately within your view. It's only natural that they agree with you as they're figments born of your delusional mind. Indeed, the sly entity that prevents you from seeing the world in its sincerest form would be none other than yourself. Even the holy entity in which you believe and to which you devote yourself is going to be a projection of your own self. So how can I trust anything my eyes show me? What an insane take. Oh, well, you think the sky is blue? You're just deluding yourself. He does have a tail. Yeah, you're right. It's weird looking. Right, and the last piece of the credenza. When I heard the news and rushed to the scene, only a hideous musician had been... Try again. When I had heard the news and rushed to the scene, only a hideous... When I heard the news and rushed to the scene, only a hideous musician who had concluded his performance and permanently shut the piano's lid with his torso awaited me. For the first time, emotions I couldn't understand welled up inside me. It's hard to define what they were even now. It felt as if deep, tenebrous strains were seeping out of my heart. Alas, I didn't shed tears before that piano where your body rested, for I soon realized that you were no longer there. That's right. You're the gentle breeze that brushes my face, the clouds that float in the sky, which gave me heed of your presence from overhead or underfoot. I thought you had left me, but you would always come back. That's why I care no longer about the skin and flesh you wore only momentarily. Angelica. I'll follow after the name you gave me, Uberto. You used to call me that down in those horrible underground chambers. I'll create a new world. One where people can live bountiful lives even if they have nothing, free from obsession or greed. When we lose the fixation on our bodies, we won't be afraid of death anymore. No rest will be eternal. So he was like I will stop anyone from feeling pain by killing everyone. That was him. But yeah, him going cloudy does make sense. But yeah, that is that's all the credenza. I've read everything. Now, I have a question. What is the purpose of still being able to do stuff? Presumably I can redo all of these fights. I'm curious what happens if I win this, though. Shall we find out? We've got plenty of time left. Took me half an hour to beat the final fight, which I was fully expecting to be like bloody 2 hours of fighting. I don't want to see the bad endings, no. Not on stream, at least. Right, what am I doing? That one, that one, and that one. Okay. Greet uninvited guests. Okay. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Hey, my health went up. Thank you. Thank you for the heals. Yeah, yeah. Right, we're focusing this fucker. Ignore her. seeing what we can do if we just attacked him, how possible it is to kill him. It's hard. I'd say he has at least 500 health. Yeah. Binner's here now. Right. Just keep hitting them. I've really enjoyed this game. Like, underneath all of the difficulty spikes, I think this is one of the best games I have ever played. The depth of characters, the depth of world building, even if I disagree with some bits like the Will of the City and such, the depth of it is still phenomenal. Keep hitting him. We'll get through eventually. He's getting close to being staggered. He's also healing like a... I suppose there's something really, really rude then. Keep the fairies. As much fairy as we can. Yeah. I know what the library looks like. I do also find it very interesting that Binner is essentially the final sort of important character that sort of gets her resolution. Binner has very much been almost, not a side character, but a support character through a lot of this. Like, she's been a very powerful support character, but it's like she hasn't really done much. And it's odd, in a way. Right, I've got Furiosa now. Yeah, Furiosa that one. Oh, it can't be destroyed. Fuck you. Can't be destroyed. Of course not. Whatever, just do it anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's very odd. Also, I was trying to work out why Binner has taken our side. Because that's not really addressed at all. It's just a case of, yeah, I'm on your side now, apparently. Yeah. What are you talking? Her telling you what she likes tea because the suffering of the leaves is integral to the plot. because she is a fascinating character, but she was basically enslaved by L Corp to help with this in the form of Binner. Is he staggered? Is he staggered? Oh! Oh. Well. I got an achievement that I didn't really want to get. Complete the final reception without anyone being incapacitated. Literally tried as hard as I humanly could. And I couldn't kill either of them. I tried. And torture, don't forget about the torture. Wasn't Binner the only separatist side with Angela at the start? That could have something to do with it. Like, my attitude initially was she's playing the long game. But the fact that she just, like, vanishes after the fight and doesn't stay undegraded... Oh, I see. Yeah, no, you might actually be right, Taz. Maybe the battle ended early because I beat one of them. That's interesting as well. That is also quite telling. Because, yeah, I didn't reach the, like, emotion 4. Like, I didn't have the, manifest ego. But maybe that's because I didn't clash. I just, like, did one-sided. Anyway. Yeah, like, my attitude to why Binner chose the side she did is that she sees it as her best choice. Like, you don't know why she's working for the head. It's, you know virtually nothing about her or her motivations or anything. She is one of the most enigmatic deliberately, in that she never fucking answers a straight question. But, like, it's possible that... she was with the head because it was useful to her. And then when she saw the power of the library, she was like, no, I think I'm more likely to benefit from here. In which case that was what she kept up with, you know? Yeah, there were no other librarians in the ending. But I think that's it, because, like, in that battle just then, Roland said something like, she woke Gabora up. So, like, the librarians were sleeping. When they'd sort of completed the library, they all went back into stasis, apparently. But yeah. That's the end of the game, I guess. I've done everything. I've won. I've completed it all. Yeah, all the books were sent away as well. You bastard. Okay, well, I guess that is the end of GVL Library of Ruina. Hope you've enjoyed this series. I certainly have. Yeah, it's been really good. Fascinating game, fascinating world. And I will be, as this is a shorter stream than I expected, probably tonight, although my voice is really sort of hurting right now, so maybe not tonight. I will be recording a first impressions for Limbus Company, the gacha game sequel to Library of Ruina. And that'll be out in a few days, that video. And if I like it, there is the possibility of me streaming more. But if I had to guess, I would say very unlikely. I reckon, unless I play Limbus and it's like, wow, this I need to stream this, I'm probably going to take a break from streaming for a bit. Because I've got loads of other projects that need my time, and yeah, it's got loads of other stuff I need to be doing, really. So unless there are particular games that pop up that I think, yes, I really want to stream this, like if I end up getting like Strange Antiquities, which is the sequel to Strange Horticulture, which came out today, that's something that I might stream, because that was really fun streaming that before the streaming Horticulture. But otherwise, I'm probably going to take a break from streaming. I don't know how long for, we'll have to see. But, yeah. Thank you very much for watching 50 episodes of this with me. 200 hours I've played this game. Not all of that was streamed, because a lot of that was card building. But, deck building, but, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to Skier, who, if I recall correctly, got the game for me. I think it was a gift a long, long time ago. Yes, I will be doing a little bit more Library of Ruina content. As I mentioned before, I'll be doing a tier list. I really want to do a tier list of the characters, because I think some of them will surprise you. Clickbait, clickbait. So I'll see if there is an existing tier list. I'm also going to be plundering the wiki for art, because some of the art in this is so pretty that I've stayed away from plundering it too much because of possibility of spoilers, but now I've finished Library of Ruina. So yes, yeah. Feels weird ending, because we're like an hour early, and I expected this to be a long stream. Like, I was preparing myself for like a 4 or 5 hour stream tonight. And then it's just like half an hour of fighting, and then, okay, that's it. You're done. But yes, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, check out my Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, check out my YouTube. Either way, particularly do check out the YouTube. If I am taking a break from streaming, I'll still do videos on there, and that's where the tier list will be. I'm not going to stream the tier list. So, thank you very much for watching. Join the Garen Weaver Discord. We'll be talking about Library of Ruina on there, I imagine, quite a bit, and the world of Project Moon. Hello, future people. Goodbye, future people. Social media is also linked below the Twitch in the description of the YouTube stream, as is my Patreon, and pledges on there really help with all of those other projects that I'm going to be working on. Like Anime Style, I want to bring that back. But yes, thank you very much. My voice is really breaking now, so I am going to have to go. So have a good... What day is it? Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you on Saturday for Limbus Company First Impressions, which, just one more time, will be a video, not a live stream. So check that out on Garen Reaver YouTube channel, linked below the Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, this channel, subscribe. Yay. And I, and all of my librarian friends, thank you to Nathan, Oatmeal, Melon Man, although I can't remember if Melon Man was a real person, Colinium, Larm, Ethan, Dreaming, Luna, Eurus, Doot, Skier, Ranta, Cyan, Mimic, Edgardo, Luca, Mast Flank 123, Teddy, Sucra, Dr. Dumb, Should, Mr. Taz, Port, and Hyper. Thank you all very much for being plebs in my library. And at some point I'm going to do a highlights reel of this. That'll take a lot of work. Anyway, thank you very much, and I will catch you later.